on my list. KD at the three, Djokovic with the racket. Phelps in the pool, I'm like Spieth at the Masters. Girl, you know you a bad. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Another day in the USA. Just another day in America. Kids from my hood look up to the system set us up for failure.
First opened in 2002. There's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Watch him now, Barney!
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Jackson. Dancing to his left. The quick feet by Jackson, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Here's Jackson. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big game there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And his kick is indeed good. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. And that's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Newton. He may try and run for this. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. There he goes inside the 30. The 20. 34 yards there and a first down.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. And he'll bang that one through. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Forced out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Over the middle, that's caught by Hogan. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. From the 50, Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Newton throwing again. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From midfield now, here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
A gain of 32 that time. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it.
Looking for Funchess, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Ebron caught left side. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Now Jackson on first down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that.
And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That one caught by Tyreek Hill. That one goes for 24 yards. And the young Bucks showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
On second down, Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Tyreek Hill with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Lions just continue to pour it on. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Able to spin free. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. They give him a gain of 38. On first down, Newton. He's going to go deep for Funchess. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Chris Hogan, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown. Hauschka with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, one play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. This is caught inside the 15. And they get this all the way inside Chicago's 10. It's a big play there for the Lions. And even 60 yards.
Over!
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To Barkley on the check down. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to...
And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Tyreek Hill, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Lions have got it on cruise control. Back now at Ford Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Newton. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. DeForest Buckner. Busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Third and long. It's Newton. It's caught outright by Graham. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 16 on 3rd and 16, and that spot moves the chains. Throwing is Newton. Buying time to his left. He's going to air it out deep. It's caught inside the 25.
Here we go.
A huge play there for Chicago. And even 40 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, Newton. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Newton. This is caught. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Now Newton. And he is going to be stopped on the return at his own 3-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. And he gets this up just shy of the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big 1st down to get away from the end zone. So still backed up, but the situation not as dire now. 1st and 10 at the 14. Jackson. He's got a man, complete. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. You know, the man on our cover, John Madden, so synonymous with these Thanksgiving Day games. He was on TV for these from, I think, 81 to 01, giving out the Turkey Leg Award and turducken he always talked about. Special when you got a guy going off like this. I think he would be a good recipient of the Turkey Leg Award.
Well, he's definitely already worked on that leg. Is it possible he could end up getting the whole turkey?
Yeah, give him a thigh,
or the
too.
Whole turducken. And it's really great that you mentioned Coach Madden because everyone knows him from this. Everyone knows him from the broadcast booth. Remember, he won a Super Bowl as a head coach in Oakland.
Yep, he did indeed. But right now, we are watching maybe one of those turkey leg performances with his 2nd touchdown there. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. Now Newton. The throw left side, complete to Hogan. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31.
Here we go.
Now Newton on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. On the ground, McCaffrey. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Now Newton on third and goal. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Desperation time. Newton, fourth down. Flushed out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Ryan Shazier able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a first down throw for Newton. Steps away to his left. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here trying to preserve the lead. Back to the air, Newton on second down. And an alley to run. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Newton now to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another...
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Hauschka adds the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Detroit getting set to go now. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Newton now to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down, and now here is another interception. Picked off at the 13. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Detroit, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face the Panthers next.